I was like, damn, we're getting football back. And then to watch that porous, garbage, trash, asinine performance by this team was just so bad. I'm telling you, it was the worst performance of any team week one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast. I'm Jack Smith.
I'm Shrikar Jendran.
And I'm Anish Gupta.
And after week one, we're back to our week two picks. We had a lot of uniformity in last week, so we kind of ended up with about the same record. I believe Anish went 12-4.
Yes, I did. And that was, by the way.
Yes, that was the leader. Shrikar and the fans and you guys kind of on Instagram, which we're going to link down below. Go vote so that you can have an impact on these picks. They both went 11-5 and I went 10-6. Obviously, I picked a couple upsets that were just this close to happening. Carolina almost beat Las Vegas, and then Cincinnati. Oh, they were so close to beating the Chargers.
Hey,
Randy Bullock.
Randy Bullock, man. The OPI too.
Hey, for what I've gone through the past year, like I'm happy with that.
11-5 is a lot better than under 500. We'll say that right here.
Just
with my history
watching, I just always flash back to that Bengals pick. I'm sorry.
I won't put it in this one too. If you guys want to watch it, go find it in the last video. But just it was.
Speaking of the Bengals, Shrikar, you want to kind of start us off on what's going on Thursday night?
All right, Bengals Browns. All right. Now this is a game that I've been flip-flopping a little bit. But based on what we've seen so far, I think the Bengals have their quarterback of the future. Coward said it. It may be a bit early, but look, Joe Burrow, he's looking like a star in the making. He kept the Bengals within striking distance throughout the game against the Chargers, and I think he's going to do so again in week 2. But will it be enough to secure his first win against the Cleveland Browns?
Shrikar?
I think so. think so. I'm taking the Bengals in this one.
Yes. He loves to take the Bengals.
Short week.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You know, this Cincinnati team isn't going anywhere in 2020. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even go 6-10. But with that said, I think we're going to see some steady progress from this club. You know, Burrow under center, a defense that has some quality pieces in place. As for the Browns, I'm just starting to think, I don't know what to think of the Browns anymore. You know, you get mauled by the Baltimore Ravens in week 1. You desperately need to get things going against the Bengals. However, considering how underwhelming they were in 2019 and the fact that I just don't like picking the Browns, you know, I don't have much faith in this franchise figuring things out this season. So I think the Bengals, it's going to be very close. I think the Bengals.
Quick question for your pick, since I don't know what Jack's going to go with, but quick question.
Yes.
Do you think Baker Mayfield doesn't start week 3?
No, I think he starts week 3.
Okay. All right.
I think Baker could start the whole year. I mean, but look, I think overall.
I don't know.
Who's your backup?
Case Keenum.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. I wish he got playing time against Baltimore.
And he's back with Stefanski. Oh, okay. We'll see, but week 3, I expect Baker. I think the Bengals do notch a hard-fought win, and Burrow's going to get his first dub in a divisional game against the Browns.
I see this going both ways where, you know, whenever I pick Cleveland, they lose. And whenever I don't pick Cleveland, they win. And I picked Cincinnati last week and they almost win. And if I don't pick Cincinnati this week, I guarantee you they win because
don't do this, please. Don't do this.
No, but I'm going with Cleveland. I'm not overthinking it. This was the team I projected to be pretty good this year. A team I projected to be much better than Cincinnati. I love Joe Burrow. I wanted to pick him last week. He had a pretty good game. He's going to have growing pains, though, for his first couple games. And I think Cleveland plays a cleaner game. I hate saying that Baker Mayfield can play anything near a clean game because it's obvious he can't really do that. But, you know, Cincinnati's defense, they did allow the Chargers to run the ball pretty well. And I hope that the Browns go back to that a little bit. I think they strayed away from it. And Chubb didn't play amazing. Got less carries than Hunt, which was interesting to me. But I'm not overthinking it. I'm going with Cleveland, who I projected to be the better team.
Oh my gosh. This, you know what? As a Brown, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time. I'm just gonna try and go as quick as possible. Watching that game in real time was just so heartbreaking, man. I mean, I told you guys, right? I got up at 4 a.m. I was like, damn, we're getting football back. And then to watch that porous, garbage, trash, asinine performance by this team was just so bad. I'm telling you, it was the worst performance of any team week one. I guarantee you that. And the reason why Hunt got more carries was just they were rolling with momentum. So it's not that big of a concern. Regarding this game, look, Baker Mayfield, I thought he could. I don't know what to say, because he had a good first half, 7 for 11. The pick he had was tipped by a 6'8" Calais Campbell, so I wasn't as bad on it. But, Odell, 3rd and 2 at the 24-yard line, half's coming to an end, down 6-17. You have to catch that. Wide open, down the middle. That's your specialty. You take slants to the house. That's what you do. He did it last year against the Jets. That if he takes that, that's 13-17 and going into the half. He doesn't do it. They miss the kick, and Baltimore scores on a 2-minute drill and goes 24-6, and the game's over. Literally a throwaway. I'm not going to say the Browns were going to win, but at least they could have made it competitive. You have to catch the Odell Beckham. What are you doing, right? He's finally healthy now. There's no excuses, and I don't know what to say. I have no, I'm running out. I can't give this team anything really. You know what? It's a Thursday night game, and you know what? The Thursday night win against the Jets was by far my favorite moment as a Browns fan. So I'm going to say they pull it out in prime time. But man, if they don't win this game, there's
questions.
I'm 99% saying that the Browns don't make the playoffs if they lose this game. I would say 99% the Browns don't make this in the playoffs if they lose on Thursday night. You can clip that. I could be dead wrong, but I would bet on that. So I'm going to go with the Browns here. But if they don't, I think it's really bad.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So then our next game is two teams that they've honestly played about the same. One team kind of turned it on in the fourth quarter. One team didn't. Is the New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears. Chicago should have lost that game to Detroit. Detroit outplayed them for the most of the game.
But they didn't outplay them when it mattered.
I know that. And New York, they couldn't really get it going against the Steelers defense late, but they had some success early, giving them, at least a shot in this game. Personally, I'm going to go with Chicago. New York had, I think, the worst offensive line performance of any team. Just in the run game, Saquon Barkley had 15 carries for 6 yards.
Yeah, guess who had him in fantasy?
Yeah, no, and guess who has him as the offensive player of the year? But the offensive line played terrible against the run, terrible for the pass. Chicago's got Khalil Mack lining up on one side and Akeem Hicks. It's not going to work for them, I don't think, in this game either. And I hope that Mitchell Trubisky plays well against a secondary that allowed a lot to Ben Roethlisberger.
You want to go, Shrikar? I'll finish it.
All right, sure. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm just not buying it. The Bears may have pulled off the win in week 1, but I simply can't rely on Trubisky to put on that type of performance on a weekly basis. So I believe that it was, dare I say, I think it was a fluke that won't repeat itself often this season. Yes, Jack made a good point. The Bears defense is still a stout one. They will certainly make life difficult for the New York Giants and Daniel Jones. With that said, I can't imagine Saquon Barkley being bottled up for 2 weeks in a row. So I think he's going to deliver some paint to the Chicago defense in week 2. Now about Trubisky. Look, the Giants are going to do everything they can to make him uncomfortable. They'll bring the pressure early and often, forcing him into mistakes. And, those mistakes, I don't think the Bears can overcome. And even if that offense from New York and Danny Dimes, if they fail to light it up, I think they'll have enough opportunities to stay ahead on the scoreboard with Mitchell Trubisky stumbling. So I'm not confident in either of these teams' abilities to make the postseason in 2020. However, someone's got to win this one. So I'm going with the G-Men to get the job done. And you get your first win of the season.
Picking against the Bears twice in a row now.
Yep.
All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on this pick. I think Chicago wins it. As much as I like Danny Dimes, 2 hard defenses in a row, I think this is more of a learning curve for this team. I don't think Saquon gets stuffed this bad, though. But I do think he's not going to – I don't think he amasses 100 rushing yards. Maybe 100 scrimmage, but we'll see. Hopefully he does for my fantasy purposes and my offensive player of the year pick. But, again, I just think the Bears can ride off this. Honestly, though, this pick could change if Allen Robinson is not with the team on Sunday. That is something to look out for. So I'm going to go with the Bears, but again, I'm a little less confident on the Bears pick as I compared to last week.
Yeah, Shrikar told me he had 3 upsets, and I said he definitely has New York over Chicago, and I guess he has Cincy. He told me it was none of them. We'll get to the third one later, but so far 2 for 2. I'm predicting Shrikar's upsets. The next one, the team he picked to upset last week, Detroit versus Green Bay. No, I didn't put too much thought into this one. I've got Green Bay. Looked absolutely dominant in week 1, and Detroit couldn't really stop Mitchell Trubisky when he had it going. If Aaron Rodgers has a good game like he did last week, I think it's a blowout.
Yeah,
yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right, sure. Well, Matthew Stafford, can he keep up with the Packers? Can he keep up with Aaron Rodgers? It's possible, but I don't think it's going to be enough, even if he does. The Packers offense looks scary right now. Aaron Jones is running well. Rodgers, his receivers are stepping up. So even if Stafford can start a fire, I think Green Bay is going to win this before the final whistle blows. So I got the Packers in this one. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think I got the Packers too, just because I think Rodgers played well. I don't think there's going to be fans at Lambeau, so I think that helps again with his cadence pre-snap. I think that's just helped him so much. So Lions played well last week, but again, I think they're going to be overmatched on offense compared to the Packers. So I got the Packers in this one. I'm not going to say blowout. I think the Lions could surprise some people, maybe score above 20, but I got the Packers.
Yeah, so Jacksonville, after winning week 1, that's more wins than some people thought they'd have on the entire year. And a lot of people are like, whoa, could this team, go 8-8? No. They're still going to be like a 4-win team, and they're not beating Tennessee, who I have as the Kings in this division. I've got the Titans winning this one. Just not buying Jacksonville right now. They're better than we thought, but they're not that good still. And I think Tennessee's great. So Tennessee in this one.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the Titans. I just don't think the Jaguars really have the talent to keep up with the Titans. That defense, it has CJ Henderson, but it really lacks elite talent. And, I just think this is the Jaguars team we expected to see last weekend. I think Minshew makes some plays, but overall that Titans defense is going to stuff them. I'm going to say the Titans win this one.
Yeah, clean sweep here, Titans. It's not even just – I don't even think it's a talent gap. I just think the Titans have looked really impressive. Going into Denver, again, Denver air is something to be concerned. I know there weren't fans, but you got to give them the credit there, right? Playing in that type of atmosphere. Also, the ability to overcome Steven Gostkowski's kicking. They should have had at least 23 points in that game. Shouldn't have been close. But, again, the ability to still overcome those 4 missed kicks and still march down the field and hit that game-winning drive, or have that game-winning drive for Ryan Tannehill. Again, it shows for a lot of Niner fans why I have Tannehill over Jimmy G. I just think bigger moments, I would trust him more. I got the Titans.
So now we move on to Minnesota, Indianapolis. I have a couple of questions.
Jack. We forgot the Falcons and the Cowboys.
The Falcons and the Cowboys. You were right. I didn't quite put that down on my piece of paper. This was an interesting game for me to pick too, because both teams looked a little bit disappointing and both teams lost, so we don't really know what to look for in a win. I'm going with Dallas because I predicted them to do better at the beginning of the season, and I think they match up well. I don't know if these corners can handle. The Falcons had 3 100-yard receivers last game. That's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy. You don't see that very often, but I think Dallas gets it done. But this was a tough game to pick for me.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas because I think the Falcons don't offer nearly as much talent along the defensive line as the Rams did. And the secondary is a work in progress as well. They couldn't contain the Seahawks offense during opening week. And I think it's going to be similar against the Cowboys offense. But that's not to say like the Cowboys are going to blow them out. I think the Falcons definitely keep it close. Matt Ryan is still one of the NFL's better passers, and he's got Julio Jones. So I think they keep things interesting on the scoreboard. But I think the lack of a pass rush really cost the Falcons in this one. I think if Prescott has too much time to throw, he can pick that secondary apart. So I'm taking the Cowboys in this one.
I thought about this one a little bit. And you know what? There's a saying where it's like you always go with your first answer. So I initially had the Cowboys. I was really leaning to go Atlanta, but I'm going to stick with Dallas here. I just think they played well against LA, like I told you guys. And they were one OPI call from winning that game. Again, I just think their offense looked really well, or played really well last week. And I think Atlanta's defense didn't impress me at all. Again, they're just lackluster there. I'm waiting for the time to say, okay, Dan Quinn has been helping them defensively, which is what he's known for. But yeah, I think the Dallas Cowboys just outscore them. I think Matt Ryan will put up points, but I think the Cowboys just outscore. So I got Dallas.
It's good that Shrikar didn't go with another Dallas blowout like he said last week. But
yeah, no. Oh, man.
No, but we moved to Minnesota versus Indianapolis. I've got a couple of questions for you. Do you guys know how many points Minnesota put up last week?
34.
34. Do you know how long they held the ball on offense?
Very less. I know they won
18 minutes. Yeah. They held the ball for, I think it's a record low, 18 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they put up 34 points.
Packers had like 25 out of 30 minutes time in possession first half.
Yeah. So they were able to put up 34 points against the Green Bay Packers in 18 minutes of possession. Obviously, their defense didn't play great, but they didn't have Danielle Hunter. They won't for this game either. But Indianapolis, they couldn't beat Jacksonville. And Minnesota played extremely well on offense in only 18 minutes of play against Green Bay. So I've got Minnesota winning this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings as well. I mean, they can pick up points when they need to. Look, Cousins has plenty of weapons to work with. Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison, a very underrated duo. I think the pass blocking's got to improve, but I think Cousins is going to adapt. And plus Adam Thielen lining up on Xavier Rhodes, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. I think Indianapolis, they have the makings of a playoff team this season, but we did see something different in week 1. They could easily bounce back in week 2, but I'm putting my money on the Vikings. I think they're going to win this game and get themselves back on track.
I don't know if Shrieker is still confident on the Colts winning the division after that game, but
Nope.
But I would have picked the Colts had it not been for week 1. I think that was really concerning for me. So I don't think the Vikings start off 0-2. They looked pretty good against the Packers at times. A little bit of it was in garbage time, but I think on offense, they look good. I don't know if they stop the run, the Colts, that much, and I think it just opens up the passing game with Adam Thielen. The dude looked really good, and I'm glad I did, because remember I told you guys he could make an All-Pro team. People were sleeping on him, so I got the Vikings in this game. But again, if the Colts win it, it'll boost my confidence on them.
Yeah, it was a lot of just untapped potential in that game for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, they hold the ball for 30 minutes of the game. They're putting up more than 34 points. And I think 34 points would definitely be enough to beat Indianapolis this week. But one team that looked really impressive week 1, as much as I hate to admit it, was Buffalo. They looked dominant against the Jets. And Miami didn't look very great against the Patriots. So just straight combination of that and the fact that I think Buffalo's going to be great this year. I've got Buffalo winning against Miami.
I'll let Anish go. He's a Josh Allen fan.
Oh, yeah, the guy who I've been saying is pretty good, huh?
2 fumbles.
Sleeper MVP
That
good?
doesn't matter. If he wins, no, I'm just kidding. No, I know that was a bit concerning, and that red zone overthrow. But again, he's learning. He's still young. But otherwise, I think he had the best first half. Him and Carson Wentz had the best first half of the game, except one quarterback finished in the second half, one didn't. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Bills over the Dolphins here, just because I think they're talent-wise they're better. I think the Dolphins are just outmatched.
Yeah, it's not only the Bills' defense, but this Bills' offense is looking like one worth taking seriously this year. You know, Josh Allen, he was great in week 1. I won't go into it, but, you know, as long as he can keep from falling apart and his receivers continue to deliver, I think the Bills are going to put up a bunch of points against the Dolphins. Do you guys think Tua comes in a bit earlier than expected if Ryan Fitzpatrick loses this game?
No, I don't think that'd be very smart. I think that'd be a little bit a desperation move by them.
Also, they played 2 good teams.
Yeah, they have.
Pump the brakes. The Dolphins have a really tough early schedule, but it does get easier.
And do you think Miami keeps it close?
I don't think Miami keeps it close.
Well, define that, because I mean, 10 points right against the Patriots. 14, it was
Bills win by 14 plus. Do you think?
Okay.
I don't know about that.
They only beat the Jets by 10. Keep in mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did leave a lot of points on. They did leave a lot of points on the board. They missed 2 field goals and 2 kind of crucial down the field fumbles by Allen. So I think they win by 14 plus.
I don't think so.
I think
I don't know.
14 plus.
I don't think so.
But
yeah. Our next game, talking about how terrible the Jets played. They get to start off with Buffalo and then San Francisco. You know, talk about easy defenses and back-to-back weeks. No question for me. I'm going with San Francisco. Jets were absolutely embarrassed by the Bills. One of the worst games I've seen them play in the last couple of years. And San Francisco is going to be hungry off a loss. I didn't know who to root for in that game because I like seeing San Francisco lose, but also I just know it would light a fire under them. They take it out on the Jets. So they lost. Now they're going to take it out on us, which is awesome.
Yeah, I got the Niners here. I mean, come on now. I think they played sloppy, right? They're going to want to fix that. And what better way to do it against a very, not good quarterback. This time, it's not Kyler, it's Sam Darnold. So, you know what? How about this?
It's a little bit tougher. I understand.
Sam Darnold turns it over 2 times in this game.
And you got to think the Jets don't have a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins. Nowhere near.
No, they don't. Or they don't have the mobility of Kyler Murray.
That's going to make.
I think Darnold throws maybe 2 picks or has a fumble and a turnover. With 2 turnovers. That's what I'm expecting. Niners win.
I'll take Niners in a blowout, man.
Yeah, they're going to take. They're gonna take it out on
don't
the
say
Jets.
Blowout because you'd be jinxing the blowouts. Just say Niners win.
Niners win.
Yes.
Hey, but he said Niners win last time, and guess what they didn't do?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Possible upset? No, I'm kidding. The Jets literally have no chance in this game. I'm a Jets fan, and they have got no chance. San Francisco is going to.
He's trying to jinx it himself, aren't you?
Every team has
Caught
a
on to
chance.
me.
Look at the
Caught
Jags.
on to me. But our next game, possibly the hardest game of the week, is the Rams at Philly. We didn't think the Rams were going to be great going into this year. Obviously, they proved us wrong. And we thought Philly could be great this year, and they disappointed us. So it's a teams that their momentum is the complete opposite, but one team we thought was going to be much better and one team we thought was going to be much worse. I'm going with the team I thought was going to be much worse. I'm going with the Rams because Philly's offensive line got shredded to pieces by the Washington defensive line, and Aaron Donald wreaked havoc on the Cowboys, as well as Leonard Floyd had a sack. The defensive line of the LA played well against the Cowboys, and I think they do that again against Carson Wentz in Philly. They're still not going to have all the weapons back that they would like. So it was a really tough game, but I'm going with the Rams.
I agree with Jack. I think Philly's offensive line was a mess. The offense completely collapsed in the second half. And what's worse is you're now going up against a Rams defense that has some great pass rushing ability. More accurately, they've got Aaron Donald. He's going to keep the Eagles from getting much going offensively. I'm still kind of uncertain on how the LA offense will fare throughout the season. I think they offer enough talent and upside to, beat Philly in this one. I don't think Jared Goff is going to have to do much. If I had to add in another prediction there, but I think Philly's going to keep it close, but I'm going to take the Rams in this one.
God.
Walk it
No, dude.
Is he going to do it again?
Walk it to him.
No, I'm not. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Wow.
Because they match up well with this team. Defensive line, O-line is depleted. Good corners, Eagles don't have weapons. Running game for the Eagles is it's shaky. I don't know. If Miles Sanders comes back, okay, maybe it's a different story. But right now, not as good. That's what the Rams were weak at against the Cowboys. They just match up perfectly. As much as I want to say it, but, again, if any quarterback can do it, could be Wentz, but I'm going to go with the Rams. I don't want to talk about this game more. You know what? He starts off 0-2. Just let's move on.
Well, yeah, I remember Instagram Live before Sunday Night Football, which we're going to plan on doing a lot this year. I said that one of the keys to the games for the Rams was if they can rush for 100 yards as a team, I think they win the game. And they were able to get it going on the ground with Malcolm Brown, Cam Akers at some points, and they ran the ball pretty well, surprisingly, for a team with no proven option. So
yeah,
if they can continue that kind of production throughout the year, I think that this team could be a lot better than we thought. But our next game we're going on to, I think the two hardest games to pick back to back, Denver versus Pittsburgh. It's kind of the same tale as the Philadelphia and the Rams game. We thought one team was going to be better than the other team, but they've got opposite momentums. And again, I'm going with the team I projected to be just a little bit worse. I'm going with Pittsburgh because we saw that against Denver, Ryan Tannehill was able to have a pretty good game, and they were able to run the ball pretty well still too, as well as Drew Lock wasn't able to kind of completely get it going and win the game, I believe, against the Titans. And I think the same thing happens against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh stifles the run and makes you make mistakes in the pass game. And I think that Drew Lock, kind of the same thing happens to them in that offense. So I think Pittsburgh wins this one.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Jack. Once again, Big Ben is back. He looked good. He's got a great group of young receivers, an impressive O-line. But really what may be most important for their future, though, is their defense, which may be one of the best we've seen from Pittsburgh in recent years. So I think that defense is going to swarm Lock all day long, forcing him into mistakes, too many mistakes to overcome. And I think Big Ben comes up with a couple of key drives to seal the deal. Why did I say steal? Silly Shrikar. So Pittsburgh's going to be 2-0 on the season. Their stock obviously going to go all the way up. But Steelers.
2-0 for Pittsburgh.
He's not happy.
Oh, dude. But you know what? Jack and I were literally like same reasoning. I just can't even. Denver hasn't looked good. They didn't look good against the Titans. And I think tough matchup going against the Steelers defense, really. I mean, I don't know if Phillip Lindsay is going to be 100%. I don't know if Melvin Gordon gets it going against the Steelers front. The Steelers have enough secondary to match Denver's receivers. Jerry Jeudy was iffy.
Up and down.
Those drops were, very concerning to me. So I got the Steelers here. I just think they're more disciplined and I trust them more. And that lack of pass rush for Denver with Von Miller, I think was truly missed. You see Tannehill was just marching down, again, surgical. So I think Big Ben does that a little bit here. And I got the Steelers going 2-0 as much as I hate to say it.
I think we can I'll go quickly on this game too. I'll have Tampa Bay. I've got them kind of winning. The the Carolina defense was not good. Simply, they were not good. And the Tampa Bay offense is potent. And so I think that that's not a very good combo for Carolina. I've got Tampa Bay winning in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Panthers look good against the Raiders. They couldn't come up with enough defensive stops to get the dub. I think that should continue against Tampa in week 2. I think Brady's going to get going early. The defense is going to start clicking. The offense is going to start clicking. So I think this is the week that they kind of shook off the rust and they're going to get going against the Panthers. I'll take the Buccaneers.
I really wanted to go Carolina here. I'm not even going to lie. I really did. They scored a lot. They scored a decent amount.
They did against the Raiders.
The Bucs defense didn't look that good to me, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay just because I think you're right. Carolina's defense didn't look good. So just off the simple fact of that, and I think Ronald Jones gets going.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to go.
Ronald Jones compliment right there. I am starting him in fantasy. But yeah, that's surprise. If you guys watch this podcast very often, you'll know that he doesn't like Ronald Jones too much. So
I have him in fantasy, so I also have to root for him a little bit.
Anish is having a rough week, man. He does.
You know what? It was so bad. I mean, like,
dude, at least you won picks, man.
Yeah, at least you won picks.
I just keep it like quick note. I'm in like 7 fantasy leagues. I won every single week or every single league except the main, or actually I think I lost in our giveaway one too, but I didn't really except the main one I'm in, I won every single one. Like all my money leagues and stuff. And the main one I lost by like 30 and I had Saquon, Godwin, Boston Scott started just, you know what, just let's move on.
And Carson Wentz played terrible along with the Browns, but we talked about that before, but our next game is Washington versus Arizona. 2 surprise teams in week 1 pulled off upsets. I think Arizona handled the Niners defensive line pretty well. So that's kind of what they mainly have going for them. So I've got Arizona. I think they'll be able to, maybe they don't allow 2 sacks. They only allowed 2 sacks to the Niners, which I thought was crazy. They probably allow a little bit more pressure than that against Washington. But I feel like since that's the only thing Washington really has going for them, and I think the reason they won is because they were able to put Wentz on the turf 8 times. I think Arizona handles it a little better like they did against San Francisco, and I've got them coming out with a win.
I'm taking Arizona just for the simple fact that I feel more confident in them than Washington. You know, Washington's got an exceptional defense, and Terry McLaurin's looking really good too. But beyond that, there's not much, and I don't really trust Dwayne Haskins as the quarterback who can lead this team to the playoffs. And, you know, the running game, it doesn't really offer too much. So I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. I think Murray has another great game. Hopkins too, because DC's got some young cornerbacks. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals here.
Yeah, I think the main difference in this game, because Washington I think Washington gets some sacks, but here's the main difference in this game. One, you're going up against, it's the difference between Wentz and Murray. I'm not saying Murray is better. I'm just saying one is more mobile. So he can avoid those type of sacks that, you know, Wentz wasn't able to take. And also their offensive line is better, in my opinion. They played pretty well against the Niners. Defensive front. Could it have been Kinlaw was rusty as a rookie? I don't know. But I got the Cardinals too. This is looking pretty good, though, 2-0 start. I don't know if Hopkins goes as crazy as he does because I don't know if Kendall Fuller comes back. But I think Washington plays a little bit better on him. But otherwise, I got the Cardinals.
Yeah, and then our next game is KC at the Chargers. Chargers were able to pull out a victory kind of last second against the Bengals, but I'm not picking against Kansas City until they lose. So I've got Kansas City in this one. Simple as that. They looked really good against Houston.
Exactly. I'm not going to pick against Kansas City. I do think that the Chargers could keep it within 1 score, but look, I'm not going to bet against Mahomes here.
My homeboy. No, I'm not. My homeboy. I'm not betting against my homeboy. Chiefs win it. It was crazy, though. The Chargers won a game in the closing moments. Usually actually, no, not usually. Always it's the other way around. So pretty cool for the Chargers, but they're not beating Kansas City.
They had to ruin my picks by coming back right at the last second. Another team I'm not picking against is the Baltimore Ravens. They looked absolutely dominant against the Browns. And really, if Kansas City wasn't as good as they were, they're easily the number 1 choice for the power rankings. They got 2 number 1 teams, I feel like, in the AFC and in the NFL, both teams that are just out of this world crazy, and I'm not picking against either of them till they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
I'm taking Ravens in a blowout. This is actually my lock of the week. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, man. I just for Deshaun Watson, I feel for him, but I don't think any of the receivers are going to get as much separation as they did against Kansas City, and even when they did, they couldn't make plays off it. So I got Baltimore here. There's no weakness. I can't find one. Obviously, it looked inflated because they played my team, but Really, no weakness here. I love this team.
Yeah,
if
they
I were a
mean,
Ravens fan, I'd be so confident right now.
they had a weakness at middle linebacker, and Patrick Queen comes in and has a
Forced
solid
a
debut.
fumble on a top 5 running back. Really? Your top 2 picks, one goes for 2 touchdowns, and the other forces a fumble in his first start.
Must have really hurt to see OSU J.K. Dobbins go off for 2 touchdowns against your team.
Literally every comment on the post when they posted Dobbins' score was just, why does he got to do it to us? Why? Because,
disappointing week, but you can't pick against Baltimore right now. And I'm, again, just like the last 2, I'm not picking against Seattle until they lose. Seattle goes against New England, it's the hardest game to pick out of those 3 straight, but I'm not picking against Seattle right now, and I think they get it done against New England. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, just quick note, Jack. I think we have the same picks for every week or every game.
No way, actually.
Yeah, I think we do. We'll look it over, guys, but I think we do.
That's insane.
I'm taking
unless you pick the Raiders over the Saints. Which
Well, I did. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Hey, I'm taking this the Seahawks in this one. It's not going to be a cakewalk. I think the Pats can keep it within 3. But I think Wilson's going to keep this offense firing on all cylinders. The Seattle defense is going to do its thing too. I think it's going to come down to the final drive, but I'm going to take the Seahawks here.
Oh, dude. I want to. Think about it. Seattle played well through the air. The Pats have the best secondary in the league. Think about it.
But they can do the best through the ground too. Like they could be the best running offense one week, could be the best passing offense the next week.
The Patriots have no pass. Dude, I really wanted to. I gotta go with Seattle. I'm sorry. And Newton doesn't play well against Seattle. I wanted to, but again, there's just so many games like, Falcons, Cowboys, Eagles, Rams, and probably this one where it was like, just a toss up. Same with Colts and Vikings, but I'm going to go with Seattle here.
Yeah, there were some tough games this week. It's good to end it off with some easy ones, kind of sure things up. New Orleans is going to put the hurt on Las Vegas, is my prediction. I think that it's Monday Night Football. They get an extra day to even prepare against the Raiders. It's the first game in the Raiders' new stadium, so it'll be great to see that, but that's really going to be the only high of the game for them, I think.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced they can take down the Saints. They barely held off a Panthers team with far less talent on both sides of the ball. So slowing down Breeze, Kamara, this offense, even without Michael Thomas, it's not going to be as easy. I think the Saints are going to focus on slowing down Josh Jacobs in this run game, and they're going to dare Derek Carr to air it out. It's similar words.
Crazy rhyme scheme right there.
Yeah. But I think when that happens, they're going to bring the pressure and they're going to force Carr into a mistake or 2, which could cost them in the end. But the Saints are one of the top teams to beat. I think they're the best team. I'd say they're the best team in the NFC after week 1. So I'm taking the Saints. Simple as that.
I think the Saints win. You guys know I'm high on Drew Brees and all that. Even without Michael Thomas, they've shown they can win. Their defense looked really good too. Marshawn Lattimore played really well. I know it's Mike Evans; he always does well, but look good. And the Raiders, again, inconsistent on defense. I do think the Raiders do score a little bit, though. I think they score more than what Tampa Bay put on them, the Saints. I think they do. I think it's probably like a 34-24, maybe 34-26 type of game. Saints win it, though.
Yeah.
But I think the Raiders do make it a little bit closer than people think.
Yeah, so obviously, looking to improve on my picks going into next week, but these 2 had pretty good weeks. So did you guys as the fans. And after hearing our picks, go to our Instagram. We're going to put them up through the next couple days so you can vote on who you think is going to win each game and contribute to the fans' record. You guys went 11-5 last week. Let's see what you can do this week. Also, we had a giveaway on our Instagram a couple weeks ago. We've got these people. They won. We want you guys to go follow them right now. Tell them you came from Cold Hard Truth. Just show them some love because they won our giveaway. So keep an eye out for more giveaways in the future. We just got our merch that came in, and Anisha's got it, so we might give away some of that in the future.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more in-season content, and enjoy this week of NFL football, and go watch Thursday's game. You got Cincinnati versus Cleveland. It looks like it's going to be a good one.
Please.
Joe Burrow, pull it out, man.
No, please.
For my sake, pull it out, Joe Burrow.
I need this so bad. Jared, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, bro. Just in advance.
Hey, Jared, Bengals are winning, bro.